Hello, hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Emma Rock and Metal Manager Meetups number 1, the first one of the year. My name is Michelle Ronquillo, and I'm Emma's event manager. Emma unites music manager organizations across 13 European countries, which represent more than 2,000 managers across Europe. Our mission is to strengthen European managers globally through the Empower program, which encompasses education, advocacy, networking, and research. If you want to know more and stay up to date with the upcoming events, please visit our website, follow us on social media, subscribe to our mailing list, join our WhatsApp group. There's many ways. I will put the links in the chat. At the end of the session, also, when you log off Zoom, there will be a super brief survey that will pop up in another room. Please take a minute to fill it out because it will help us to improve our future events. There will also be a general attendee database in the chat where you can leave your contact details and find details of others. Just make sure that you add your information if you want to be found. This list will run throughout all of our events. So if you have already filled it up before, just check that your details are updated. And I'm going to share now the agenda of today. Let me know if you can see it. Today, we have an incredible lineup of guests, and the conversation will be moderated by Katja Vauhkonen, who is manager and also member of the steering committee, the Rock and Metal steering committee. And yes, so at the end of the session, we will have the networking breakout rooms. So please stay till the end. You will have the chance to speak to our guests directly. Over to you, Katja.
Yeah, just maybe we can start with Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm the programme manager at Focus Wales Festival, which is a showcase festival in Wrexham in Wales.
Ante?
Hi, ciao everyone. My name is Ante. I'm main booker of SHIP Showcase Festival and Music Conference taking place in Šibenik in Croatia. We have a very broad spectrum of genres, including metal and rock music. And I'm also working as a COO of Bearstone Festival, which is a psychedelic rock and stoner metal festival in Slunj, Croatia.
Hey, my name is Jagger. I'm head of booking for Summer Breeze Open Air, which is the second biggest metal festival in Germany. We have like 4 stages, 130 bands, 4 days, located in the south of Germany. Yeah, that's what we do.
Good to have you here. I guess the main point for this session is to tell all the managers who are here how to get their artists playing on your festivals, or what are the tips that you could tell everyone when they are trying to figure out how to get there. What is the main thing that you look for in an artist when you start building up the lineup for your festival? Maybe first Jagger, because you're not hosting, doing a showcase festival. So what is the main thing?
I mean, we already started in October booking bands for 2025. So it's getting earlier and earlier. We first, of course, look who's available, and that's mainly via the agents, because they send us their avails. For smaller bands, they just write us mails. We keep an eye open on the market, on small shows, on small tours, on showcases, especially because we travel a lot and we visit a lot of showcases and see amazing bands playing there. We also check out other festivals, big and small. Especially the smaller festivals are very, very important for our scene, because they develop our bands, for the bigger festivals. And as we have like 2 smaller stages, we like to develop our bands as well. Like we put some newcomers on those stages, and we do have people traveling to the festival just to see the underground bands because we discover a lot of good bands. And so networking is very important. So get your bands out there, have them connect with people, with the business people, with other bands, play a lot of shows. Online numbers are very important nowadays, more than 10 years ago, of course. I mean, there are so many programs you can check all numbers and the development of the bands. So this is stuff we look into. But we are not afraid on like putting a band on the bill that has like whatever, only 1,000 followers on Facebook or Instagram. As long as the band is good and we book them if we think it's something for our audience. Easy.
That's good to hear. How about Ante?
Yeah, so we have an open application system. Actually, it's open right now until March 11th, so anybody can still apply to play. And yeah, I mean, it's a very complex equation how we choose bands because, we think about, of course, I have to like the band first, and not just me, but also some other team members. But also then there's like geography and location because I have two bands from Germany and then two from Slovakia, etc. And there's also, we have to think about gender equality and broadness of all genres represented on the festivals. So there's a lot of things to think about. But for me, essentially, the most important thing is, I guess, looking at the live performance video. I don't really care that much about Spotify numbers. It's about how does it look in live. And as for like this pro tip, since we're an export office primarily, we're a Croatian export office, we move music Croatia, and SHIP is just an extended hand of a show of an export office. Everything we do is based on exchange. So if you come to us with an offer for a Croatian artist, that is like the offer we cannot refuse, basically.
And Sarah?
Yeah, our process sounds very similar to SHIP. Actually, we have an open application process, and that's open for 6 months each year. It's actually closed now. It closed in January because our event is in May. So it'll be open again in June or July for 2025. And the way that we select artists from there is, yeah, like Ante said, we're not as bothered about the numbers across social media, but a really good live video is so useful just so we can also see not only if your music is good, but what you're going to look like on the stage so that we can pick a venue that best suits you because we have 20 different venues. They're all different shapes and sizes. So that gives us a really good idea. And we work with a lot of partners as well, which again sounds really similar. So we work with different export agencies who bring in artists from like France, Spain, over from Canada, Korea, Taiwan, like loads of different countries. Again, that is quite often an exchange program as well, so that Welsh artists will go and play abroad. And then we also work with different partners, like media partners. So like the line of Best Fit and Clash and different outlets will also choose some of the artists. So it's not all in-house, which I think is actually a bit more fair. We try and get as many opinions as we can, but it is difficult because we get about 5,000 applications each year now. And there's only space for 250 artists.
Thank you. Jagger already said something about the timeline that you already started looking in October last year, the bands for 2025. And I know that Showcase Festivals has their own, you have the application, it's really clear when to apply. Is there anything else that the agencies or the managers can do, like regarding trying to get their artists to certain summer or to certain showcase festival to play? Does it help to like email, for example, Sarah and Ante, you like straight, or should everything go through the application?
Yeah, I think if you email, that's fine, but we will just direct you back to the application process. But obviously, we're always happy to answer any questions you may have about that process. I think something that else that's important is to have a clear goal for why you want to come and play our event, whether it could be that you looked at the lineup of delegates from the previous year and saw that a lot of agents attend and you're looking for a UK agent. So it could be that you think it's a good event to find an agent at or find a manager or anything. I think it's good to have a goal and say, I want to play your showcase because of XYZ. Because it helps us help you as well. Like we know who to then direct you to connect with and things like that if you do get a slot. Because it's a two-way street. We need artists and the artists need showcases. So we want to help each other out.
I would like to add, if you send applications, please make sure you send it to the right festival. You won't believe me how many applications I get with other festival names, with other names, even from professional agencies and managements. It's crazy. I mean, you have a good laugh, but you can't take it too serious, right? So make sure you do your homework and do it right.
Ante, do you have anything to add to that subject?
No, I agree completely with Sarah. I'm okay with getting an email and with networking just about with anyone, but at the end I'm gonna send you to the application because it's easier for us to have one source of truth instead of going through thousands of emails just because of that.
Do you feel that you, Sarah, already said it pretty good and clear that it's good to know what is the goal for the artist if they want to come and play there? Do you feel that it's crucial that the artist needs to have a label or agency or management already when they are trying to get into your festival? Do you see that as I hope you see that as a good thing?
I think it's always useful. I don't think we'd ever reject someone for not having a full team because that's kind of the point of showcases is to build your team sometimes. I think if artists are if they're coming into Wales internationally, then it's useful for them to have a manager or an agent on board already or a label, but it's not essential.
For us,
I guess, sorry.
For us, it's not a must to have a label or something. Of course, it helps if the release is around summer to play a festival. This is one point you can add in, but it's not really a must. If the band is good and is available, doesn't matter, especially with the smaller ones. I mean, you should act professional. I mean, dealing with smaller bands, especially our artist production, they're complaining that they're not as organized as like a professional band, of course. So if you want to go out and play festivals, yeah, as I said, do your homework. Try to get a setup which is professional, answer your emails pretty fast, and so on and so on. So it's now handling whatever 50 to 150 bands for a festival is a lot of work.
I just wanted to say I see SHIP as being this kind of first step in on the showcasing map in Europe. So if you look at Eurosonic as a place where you go to fulfill your entire international team, then SHIP has to be a place where you come without anybody on your international team and just trying to get that first person who's then going to help you out on Reeperbahn or Tallinn Music Week or next showcase you're going to do.
The next question is because I know that Ante and Sarah, you have like the application, but Jagger, do you feel like we have maybe already talked this little bit, but do you have something like tips also? You need to know who you're sending the email to, but do you want some bio, or is it just you need just small info about the band and maybe the live video? Is that enough, or should you just write down a story?
Yeah, I mean, we also get flooded with applications, and the best thing is like a small bio, links to the album, to the videos, so you don't have, like, I don't have to search everything, look everything up on the net, because we simply don't have the time, you know. Other than that, no, it's just like put in all the facts, you know, what's positive, you know, for the band, and that's it. We don't need any CDs anymore and stuff. You know, back in the day, you got like these packages with CDs, a printed bio, and maybe some gifts, a T-shirt or something. No. Just reduce it to the most important key points, and that's it.
And does it matter like where the band is from? Do you book a lot of bands like outside of your own territories, or how do you deal with that?
For us, it doesn't matter. We you know we book, if the band is good and if it's from China, it's no problem. If they can come over, and no problem. Why, you know, I don't see any problem there.
How about Sarah and Ante?
Yeah, same. We have artists from all around the world come and play. In a lot of cases, we'll work with export agencies who are able to help the artists to fund themselves to come over. But you know, we've also had we had an artist from Japan who's played quite a few times because they are able to fly themselves over, and we think they're great, so we put them on.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same with us, except for being an export office. We do have 50% of Croatian artists playing, and then 50% of the other international artists.
So when the artists maybe are you have booked the artist, what are the technical and financial things that you can tell them already, like that they need to think about? Because I realized that when I'm applying my artist to any showcase festival, I started to think, okay, this is great, maybe we can get this, but do we have the finances to come and play? Like, any tips for that before you start writing?
It all depends on the size of the band. A better known band, of course, gets a higher fee, and maybe transportation, and maybe hotel. Smaller bands that are totally unknown get like a certain fee, and the rest is up for themselves. I mean, I actually got a band confirmed today, which is like an exchange thing we do with a Scandinavian festival. They booked a German band, we booked a Norwegian band. And of course, I couldn't pay a big fee because the band is totally unknown in Germany. But I told them, hey, go to your export office. They can help you out. They're cool people. Maybe they can help you with the travel and stuff like that. So I mean, there are very good export offices around. So just talk to them or just apply for the fundings. But I think many bands don't know about it and don't know how to apply for funding for a tour or something. And what I tell smaller bands as well, if they come down from Scandinavia, play some other shows. I mean, you know, on the way, if you want to drive on the way from Sweden to south of Germany, there's so many venues that are happy to do something small or bigger in summertime. You know, just go there. and talk to the other bands that are playing our festival. Maybe you can join and do a joint tour. There's so many possibilities.
Yeah, as for us, we have fixed fees of 300 euros. We take cover of accommodation on the day of the performance, as well as some basic hospitality and dinner. And yeah, yes, we take cover of the basic backline for the performance. And this may differ in some cases where we can get additional funding from embassies or art councils or some other like funding possible for their exact countries.
Ours is similar to Jagger, I think. Like obviously the better known artists get bigger fees. And also similar to Ante that we work with export agencies. So if you were coming to Wales from abroad, then you could contact your export agencies to see if they could help fund your trip. Our artists all get food every day, which helps. We have like 3 mixers each day, so you can basically get 3 meals a day. And that's open to all the artists. Yeah, I think there's only so much information I guess you can give outside of what the fee is. We always recommend places to stay. Unfortunately, we're not able to provide accommodation, but we'll do our best to help you find somewhere if you're struggling. Yeah.
I just want to add, of course, they get food and drinks at summer breeze as well.
Yeah,
That's
and
good.
if we
human
can't
rights.
provide accommodation, we have a band camping area, and the bands can stay the whole days, like the whole festival, so they can use the festival for networking. We have a lot of international press, and we're happy to connect them. And the press is also like the key press is also has access to the artist area. So I think it's really easy to network at our festival. At least that's our goal.
That was actually my next question. How do you engage with the industry and offer networking? I've been in Summer Breeze actually last year, and it was amazing because there was this one area where all the professionals were having fun and drinking and chatting to each other. I guess for the showcase festivals, it's basically the same. You also are thinking about the industry people coming there.
I mean, yeah, basically the entire event is about that. It's about networking. So, yeah, and SHIP has this. I kind of see it like a boutique showcase festival where everything is pretty much laid back and it's very vacation-like, being in September in Adriatic Sea. You have the sun, the sea. It's kind of this atmosphere is very laid back, and people unlike big showcase festivals where you have like 15-minute meetings, and you really have a lot of information in your head. You don't really manage to connect with anybody for real. On SHIP, what happens is that you have really a lot of time to talk to somebody and really create a meaningful relationship that can really make a difference.
That's great to hear. I think we could now take some questions for the audience. There's so many different things we could talk about, but I'm more interested that if anyone has anything specific they want to ask from you. Is there anything yet, or if someone wants to ask out loud, now is the chance.
If I may ask something, I just jump in if that's okay. That goes out. This goes out particularly to Sarah and Ante. If a band that you apply with is being accepted, what kind of delegates can we expect in your showcase festivals if we are not too familiar with your showcase festivals? From which countries do these delegates come from? And what kind of crafts do they represent? Is it primarily booking agents, or is it other crafts in the music industry that they come from?
So we have a good range of different delegates. We have a lot of booking agents and festival bookers, a lot of actual agents, labels, managers, sync. We're trying to get a lot more sync people into the festival. And like there's always lots of like funders and people like that as well. There's and also you have the opportunity, if you get selected, you'll have a list of all of those delegates and their contact information a few weeks before the festival as well, so you can get going already to set up meetings and things like that. And they'll all be on speed meetings as well during the event.
Hi, I've got a question. Hi, everyone. My name's Nina Sebastian. I manage Lizzie Esau. She's a UK-based artist. I'm based in Bristol. She's based in the Northeast. We did a great festival last year, Rock for People, in the Czech Republic or Czechia, and it was fantastic. They provided a lot of backline, and we literally had to get on an EasyJet flight and travel very lightly to the festival. I'm mindful of the fact that UK artists and coming into Europe to play festivals can be difficult, especially if you're bringing a load of gear and you get pulled up for carnets. What's your experience at the moment with UK artists coming into your country's festival? Obviously not Sarah.
No, we don't have a problem with that. I think so. I mean, it's okay for us to do fly-ins and, take care of the backline, especially on Bearstone Festival. But on SHIP, we take care at least of the basic backline. Of course, I cannot make sure you're going to get Mini Moog from 1970s if you need it on your, stage. But if you need basic backline, yeah, we can take care of that.
Well, sorry, if you're not bringing the Mini Moog, I'm not coming.
Yeah, same here. We don't have any problems. We have like a basic backline for each stage, and yeah, no problems with English artists so far.
Thank you. And to your knowledge, no problem when they are crossing with limited kit in terms of carnet pull-ups.
I was going to say, Nina, if you don't mind me jumping in, I've had a lot of experience with the carnets over the past 12 months. And if they're flying over and everything is carryable, like you don't need your carnet, but obviously traveling over with more in a van will be when you find it more troublesome. But I do a lot of fly-in festivals with my artists, where the festival kindly supplies the backline for us, and that has been super helpful, because if it's just one or two festivals, it means we don't have to pay for the carnet for the 12 months or whatever if we are able to carry our equipment. But obviously if there's more extensive, you can obviously apply for the whole 12 months of the year if you've got a lot of stuff coming up and you're going to be driving, etc. But yeah, it's been a fun 12 months dealing with all of that.
Yeah,
Thanks, Steph. That's good to know.
I can pick in on that as well. I'm from Belgium. I had a couple of bands playing some UK festivals last year, Bloodstock, Arctangent. Carnet-wise, we had a lot of discussions in the Belgian manager group there as well. As far as I know, the carnet, there's an exception if, like Steph said, if you can carry the stuff, but it's also okay if all the material is in the same transportation vehicle as the band. So you can drive with a van filled with gear if it's your own gear. So if it's not rented backline, and if it's in the same van as the musicians, then you wouldn't need a carnet either. I haven't had any problems. I had like 5 or 6 trips last summer, and no problems at all without a carnet.
Thanks, Thomas. That's good to know.
I guess that depends very much. I mean, I'm from Croatia, and we've been involved with carnet for a long time, because if you play at Serbia, and the scenes are pretty much connected, and we all do play in Serbia and Bosnia, Macedonia, etc. You don't need carnet only if you carry you know, just guitars and maybe cymbals and something like that, that's considered personal equipment. But if you are carrying amps, you definitely need them, need carne for crossing the border. I guess it all depends on, you know, how each country is doing it.
Indeed.
I guess
I have
you
a
can.
question for all three of you. Would you be able to clarify how delegates or like managers would be able to attend your festival? Because I know some showcase festivals you have to buy a ticket, but how does it also work? Or could you tell people how it works for sort of standard festivals that you can't necessarily buy a ticket for? For Focus Wales, you can buy a delegate pass, or if your artist is performing, then we do a really, really cheap rate for the managers, which is like £30, as opposed to if you bought a full pass. Like if you had to pay the full price, it would be like 160. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. And then obviously if the artists have crew, then they'll come in on the artist passes.
Yeah, I guess for us it's the same. We have pro passes for the delegates, but also I think some export offices are, you know, co-funding music professionals going on showcase festivals. So maybe you can get some kind of funding from them.
Yeah, we do have, especially from Scandinavia, they're really, really good, and we love to welcome them every year. We have like a big delegation coming down each year, and it's Swedish export music who's organizing it. Other than that, of course, we have also normal managers. I would call them like they just apply for the guest list, and then we will see if they have bands on the festival. They get guest list. We don't sell delegate passes yet.
Hi, I've got a question. Hi, my name is Betty, and my question revolves around how you as festival bookers interact with like smaller booking agencies. I manage a four-piece UK grunge band called Moth, as well as working for a small London-based booking agency. And I was wondering, like, sort of how do you approach the smaller agencies, or do you have smaller agencies approach you guys? Because as well as looking for festival slots for my own artists that I manage, I'm also working with this agency on the moment of breaking a couple of the artists on their roster into the sort of festival circuit as well. And I've been reaching out to a lot of agents as an independent manager, but I was wondering how your relationship with the agencies work. Yeah, so I can sort of approach it from that angle as well, if that makes sense. Thank you.
I can jump in. So for dealing with smaller agencies, again, it's like we do ask all artists to apply to play, but then also it's always really nice to connect with other agencies, especially smaller ones. And everyone prefers to work with a smaller agency a lot of the time. So maybe it'd be best to apply and also drop us an email just to be like, hi, this is my roster. Because also it's good for us to look out for those artists then and like connect. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, that does. Love that. Thank you.
Yeah, I completely agree with Sarah. That's basically all the same. Booking agencies smaller, it's best for them to apply their artists through the application system, and then maybe to send an email. And if you send me an email and say, I'm really interested in having Croatian artists on my roster, that would be for me a life-changing experience.
Yeah, for us it works both ways. I mean, we approach smaller agencies if we're interested in a band. If we discover a band, we book bands directly. And we have smaller and bigger agencies coming up to us and sending their avails. So it's all a matter if the band fits. We need certain types of musical directions, and if you have like whatever 15 metalcore bands confirmed already, we don't need two more. You know, so it's a big puzzle. we have to put together. But in general, smaller agencies are fine. I mean, we love to work with them. It's mainly easier to work with them than with bigger agencies, of course.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
I think Oksana, you have raised your hand.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, didn't want to interrupt. I guess my question is, because I've been working with this band called Puke Slut for the last almost 2 years, I want to say. And we've really recently like relocated to Europe, and that's where we're kind of really starting to really reach out to festivals and like try to get on showcases, because like we're finally in a place. Also, we built up a really good portfolio, so to say, with like our materials from the shows that we did on the island. I understand with the showcase festivals, it's very clear, like I have to apply between January and July. But I think it's more in terms of like when I'm just sending a like almost blind email to a festival, like, hey, I have this band and I think it works well with your sound. Whatever, that's my opinion. But I've had a lot of responses of like either telling me to apply like right after the festival, or I don't know, I've just had like a very mixed sort of response from festivals. But you also, Jagger, you mentioned that you've already booked people last October for 2025. Like as someone who's very new, and kind of not really well known yet, is it maybe like better like if I'm applying now for 2025 rather than like sending emails for 2024? Is the best time to apply like right after the festival or before, or do you kind of have maybe any tips in that aspect?
It's different from festival to festival, I would say. The bands we approach for 25 are the bigger ones, of course. Like I would say until mid-afternoon main stage. It's like whatever 15 offers we have out there. The smaller bands we will contact after the festival. Some of them before, because we want to release some names during this year's festival. So there's not a certain point when you can send emails, which is the best point, you know. Sometimes we pick smaller bands, like 50 smaller bands within 2 weeks, and sometimes we leave some slots open, and we wait until January until we book those bands. It's, as I said, it's a big puzzle. We have to check the musical styles and everything. There is not one certain date I would recommend you to send us emails. I know other festivals, they collect all the emails and then they start, let's say, in September, but we don't work like that. It's really difficult to answer which is the best time to send the application, for us at least.
Thank you. And sorry, I think it's really funny because I sent you an email, I think a few days ago, but yeah.
To my personal address.
No, I think on the website I found
Okay.
the general email, because it's often really hard to find personal emails unless you can drop it.
Jagger, does it matter if I mail you or Philip, or is that the same?
Same. We will talk about it, and yeah, then we will decide.
Sorry, can I have a question, especially to Chris? Because I represent the Polish metal stage, Total Underground. It's not professional. It's a lot of underground bands. Are you like a professional booker for the festival? You getting or you book the bands from underground, or you have to have some behind, like a label or booking agent?
No, we also book bands that are totally independent. If they fit, if they have a little bit of name, or if we like them, we book them. Like,
what about you, Sarah and Ante? Are you booking any bands for the showcase from underground? Which is, there is no any label, there is no any booking agents behind.
Yeah, it's not essential to have any team behind the artist. If they're good and they're at the right stage and they fit a bill, then yeah, sure.
Yes, absolutely.
what does mean on the right stage? What
just for
show you the right
example,
stage?
yeah, like if they were coming over to the UK from Europe, then I think what I mean by the right stage is they're ready, they have, like they have a few goals and they're ready to build a team, or they're ready to promote a record or something like that, rather than sometimes an artist will apply just because they think it sounds like fun to go and play, but they're actually like not really gonna gain the most from the opportunity, kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Thank you. I mean, at the moment, in next month, I'm gonna tour in UK with some Polish, not small band, which is quite big in Poland, selling a lot of venue, 2,000, 3,000 capacity. As I remember, I sent the application to a lot of festivals. Of course, there is a different talk about the fee because the band is well known. The language is important for you, or it doesn't really matter? How they perform?
Oh no, not important at all. We have, I mean, especially as we speak Welsh and a lot of our artists perform in Welsh, we love to have all different languages at the event. So,
all right, okay, thank you. So, Sarah, if you don't mind, and you're gonna find the time, I send you information about the show in Bristol and Swansea. Come to see them.
Yeah, cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Katja, for moderating the conversation. We can all agree it's been incredibly useful, the information that we have received today from our guests. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your knowledge. As I said at the beginning of the event, we're going to open the breakout rooms. We've had today very great attendance. So there are like 10 breakout rooms, and I will make sure that if our guests are staying, that I put them in 2 different rooms in the next 15 minutes. Yeah, thank you all so much for attending, and I will see you back in around 7 p.m. I'm going to open the breakout rooms now. Okay, welcome back, and thank you so much for staying till the end. I hope this was really helpful for you, the breakout rooms, that you got the chance to meet your colleagues, to exchange LinkedIn phone numbers, Instagram, bands, ideas. But yeah, just wanted to thank you all so much for attending this session. Stay tuned for the upcoming one in quarter 2. Yeah, and I'm going to stop recording right now.